national emblem of Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. nightly, with a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So viewers, we have a bacchanal story here for you tonight. The national emblem of Trinidad and Tobago Regulation Amendment Bill 2025, I hear an echo inside, have been passed. The legislation will now be forwarded to President Christine Kangaloo for assent and declaration, allowing for the official replacement of the former design. Now, while the bill eventually received the support of the upper house, the manner in which the change was decided and announced by the country or to the country was heavily criticized by opposition, United National Congress senator, as well as some independent senator. So did the Prime Minister go through the proper channel? No, he did not. Plans to change the coat of arms design were announced in August 2024 by the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, at a special convention for the People's National Movement. The change would see the symbol of the 3 ships in which the 15th century explorer Christopher Columbus was recorded as having encountered the New World being replaced with a national instrument, the steel pan. The bill was passed following debate by 16 senators. The bill was then committed to a committee of the whole for consideration, clause by clause. So Trinidad and Tobago, what we are understanding is that the legal procedures in the channel which the coat of arms supposed to go through, apparently like it didn't go through that proper channel. And there's a little back and forth here now. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is a new coat of arms for our country. Now look at it. The designer who created this, Jillian, I believe is her name, said she didn't care what people say. Yeah. Look at the steel pan now. Look at the steel pan. Imagine that take all the 3 ships. And if you watch to the top of the coat of arms, under the palm tree, we had the ship wheel. We had the ship wheel. And she said she do not care what people says. This is the coat of arms. This representing Trinidad and Tobago. It represents the government, it represents document, it represents the people. And on screen, I could safely tell earlier, that thing looking like a 5-year-old paint up something. Look at that. Look at that. You're modifying the coat of arms that represent our country. And this is the outlook of it when I finish. This is the outlook. It's sad, but really sad, you know. Together we aspire, together we achieve. Look at the pan. Look at the sticks on the pan. Look at the sticks on the pan, Trinidad and Tobago. The coat of arms looking like a 5-year-old paint up something. And on top of that now, according to UNC officials, they did not take the proper channel to go through to remove a part from the coat of arms and put in an next part. So this coat of arms right now in Trinidad and Tobago is bacchanal right through. I don't know everything Dr. Rowley do is always have a bacchanal in it. Why? Can't you do something straight like a needle for once in your life? Jeez, but every blasted thing in this country is a bacchanal. Everything. Money gone missing? Call a member can't say where the money gone. Crime high in the country? The head of security? Well, them and all even know what's going on. But I tell you, this country gone down to the dogs and it's rotting. The Trinidad and Tobago rotting, I should say. from the core, the value we once had as a people, it melting down. It melting. And those in authority sitting down and laughing. What they fail to realize, what these people in authority fail to realize, is that they are citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They are citizens. They were born right here. They educate themselves right here. They work right here. Their riches is right here. Their children and grandchildren is right here. And yet these numbskulls and then sitting down in office, and I realize them name being dragged through the mud right around the world. And then they will say they're working for the people of Trinidad. Who are you really working for? You're working to fill your damn pocket. You numbskulls. It's sad. It's stinking sad. And it's time now somebody embarrass these people and them and let them know, hey, all they thinking like dead dogs. All they smelling like ganda eggs. All the performance like... All they know them chicken pen they smell? That is their performance. It stinks. It stinks. And they're all proud of it. They're proud. They say, I am a Trinbagonian. You're a Trinbagonian, but your work stinks. So, just a little reminder, viewers, just something I want to throw in here. Family indemnity plan is now available at Real Talk Credit Union. So, viewers, those of you who've been asking if the credit union is FIP ready, Family Indemnity Plan, yes. You all can start calling the office, 2316219 Central or 2429944 for the South Branch. Set up your appointment. Come in. Sign up your agreement with indemnity plan. Cover the family so in case death hit you, you're going to be covered. 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 Remember that, viewers. So, let's start the ads now. So, Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5%. Real Talk Credit Union is offering you 5% on fixed deposit, viewers. Remember that. You all wanted something more for your money. You all wanted more value. And you know you could have gotten it from Real Talk Financing. Real Talk Financing is a part of Real Talk group of companies. We have a lot of companies in Trinidad and Tobago and in Guyana. So viewers, credit union, they can't match we. The banks cannot match we. Why? It's 5% on fixed deposit, remember that. Now the good thing about this is that you're getting your interest up front. In 2024, we had 4% interest up front. You used to get $20,100 for 5 years. Now you're actually getting $25,000 in 5 years as interest on $100,000 when you open a fixed deposit at Real Talk. Remember that, viewers? We are matching and meeting anybody. So, viewers, Real Talk Equipment Rental has a beautiful piece of equipment for sale. It is a truck. It's a 7-ton wrecker. Prestige condition, you can see for yourself. And also, with this wrecker, there is a crane on this wrecker. So this is a crane truck and a wrecker. You choose to do transportation of heavy equipment, you have a crane to lift it. If you choose to do wrecking service, well, this is a wrecker. It's a sliding bed. Trinidad and Tobago, look at the condition of this truck. I'll ever see wreckers looking so hot in the roads of Trinidad and Tobago. Real Talk have it nice. Real Talk have it nice. So 3391670. Also, viewers, we have a 306E. It's an excavator, a new model E. With this excavator, fully air conditioned, immaculate condition, viewers. The front is an attachment of a grader blade, so you could grade roads after you finish work. Piece of equipment that is for sale at Real Talk Equipment Rental. 3391670, 2386716. Also, viewers, Real Talk Group of Company has opened another branch to its business. We are dealing in crash and damaged vehicle. So if your vehicle is in an accident, Your insurance fix it up and you want to sell it, not a problem. Contact us. You have a damaged van, car, truck, we buy in. This is a new department that we have launched. So Trinidad and Tobago, get in touch with us. Companies who have vehicles for sale, not a problem. Get in touch with us. We're doing business, we're expanding. So as we start off our program tonight, persons of interest, Susan Mary Shaw Floyd. Last night on a previous show, I said to the public, I am looking for this individual to transfer a car. We have tried to get in touch with her on many occasions and we failed. So because of that now, I have decided to put her picture on national television. Now I'll tell you something. There is a charge for failure to transfer a vehicle. Now, if you fail to contact me, I will go to the court and I will get a date set. And if you fail to come to that court date, as to explain why you didn't transfer the vehicle, it's going to give me great pleasure to tell the magistrate, because of the fact that there's a charge in failure to transfer a vehicle, I would like a no bail warrant, a bench warrant to be taken out. Officers will look for you, they will hunt you down, and they will hold you. And when they hold you now, because of the fact that you're failing to come to do this, they might feel you on some kind of something now, you know. So they might do a trace and sentence on you to check your character. Check your certificate. Check to see what's going on with you. And if they hold you on a no bail warrant, like 21 days inside, just for a no bail warrant. 21 days, trace and sentence. That is how they're going to do it. So, I've made mention on a previous show. Get in contact with me. Because you wouldn't want to go down the wrong side. Because you will end up inside, not me. Not Saieed. So, friends and family of Susan, please let her know Saieed is looking for her. So, as we start our program tonight, viewers, Minister of Tourism, Culture, and the Arts, Randall Mitchell, have stated that the coat of arms represent the soul of our country. Just before I play that video, let me just show the Trinidad and Tobago how we coat of arms looking, like a 5-year-old painted. This is our coat of arms. One of that bird looking like a pluck. The feathers of one of that bird looking like a pluck. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is our coat of arms that Randall Mitchell is saying it is the soul of our country. I don't know if it's 1 stick or 2 stick or 3 stick it have on the pan, you know. You can't even tell. 3 hand playing a pan. But nevertheless, listen to what Randall Mitchell have to say.
A coat of arms is a symbol that represents the identity, history, values, and sovereignty of a nation. It serves as an official emblem. It encapsulates the core identity of a country, and it seeks to represent the nation's culture, heritage, and values in a single cohesive image. In summary, a coat of arms holds great significance because it represents the soul of a country, weaving together its history, values, sovereignty, and unity in a powerful emblem that communicates pride, strength, and identity.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, all what he's saying there, the person who do over the coat of arms said she don't care what people say, you know. She don't care. But nevertheless, that Randall Mitchell. Mitchell said, the legislations allow for the current coat of arms to be used until 1st of January 2026, which will give the government, ministries, and other agencies sufficient time to transit to the new one, in instance where it is physically fixed here. On documents such as ID card and permits, which bears the current coat of arms, are renewed over periods of time. Mitchell said, these can be dealt with by the Ministry of National Security by prescribing a further date by which these documents can be valid for. he said that that could be done to minimize any waste, cost, or disruption to citizens. Having to immediately go to these offices to return and update these documents, birth certificate will also be valid for a certain period of time. Listen to this.
In the case of certain documents such as ID cards, driver's licenses, passports, and other documents that have a legal effect, and there are issues that they subsist for a number of years, these can be dealt with by the Minister of National Security by prescribing a further date by order, by which the former coat of arms would be valid and legal on those documents. And this can be done to minimize any wasted costs or any disruption to citizens having to immediately go to these offices to return and update these documents. Birth certificates as well may continue to validly subsist with an extension of the period for its use as prescribed by order.
Now, viewers, the minister said digital image of the current coat of arms, he continued, can be changed almost immediately once the legislation is proclaimed. Randall Mitchell.
The new coat of arms will take effect on January 1st, 2026. And the Minister of National Security, may prescribe a further date until the old coat of arms may be used. So, Mr. President, in the case, for example, of letterheads or other official documents that are printed in government offices or by the government printery on a frequent basis, such as cabinet notes, bills, checks, etc., or in the case of digital reproductions, such as on government websites, these changes can be effected immediately once this bill is proclaimed, since it is just a matter of changing from the old to the new digital coat of arms for reproduction or for printing.
This video. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he added that there will be no heavy financial burden to the taxpayers once the transition is properly managed. He also says, however, there will be a cost to change physical signage, stickers on vehicles, and the coat of arms is a physical reproduction of the new coat of arms. He said it will not cost hundreds of millions of dollars, but they haven't put a figure as yet. Listen to this.
In the case of legal tender, currency notes, etc., new notes are introduced into the financial system all the time, and old notes are taken out. As the new notes are introduced, they will bear the new coat of arms, and the old notes with the old coat of arms may continue to be legal tender once such an order is made under the Act. So to the question of whether there will be a cost to effect the change to the coat of arms, the answer is yes. There will be a cost to change physical signage, stickers on vehicles. There will be a cost to issue the physical reproductions of the coat of arms, etc. But the idea that you will have to immediately change out the entire money supply to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars is simply false. There will be no undue heavy financial burden to the taxpayer once the transition is properly managed, once these measures are accepted and passed.
So viewers, we have it for a short commercial break. Stay locked on, more when we return.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan? Only to be denied?
We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. So before we do anything tonight or before we go further, I want to say a happy birthday to Rachel Bisoon. Now, she have been supporting Real Talk in singing and dancing. So Trinidad and Tobago from the Realtalk Group of Companies. From Realtalk Group of Companies, want to wish Rachel a happy birthday. Continue coming to dance. Continue coming to dance. That is what I can say. May God continue to bless you and your dancing skills, and you just keep climbing the ladder, my dear. Happy birthday to you from Real Talk and the family. So, Trinidad and Tobago, 5%, where you getting that? Nowhere else but on Real Talk. Nowhere else. 5% on fixed deposit, viewers. Remember that, eh? Remember that. You all wanted something more? We give you something more. So, as we start back our program tonight, Opposition Senator Wade Mark is now questioning the process by which the new design of the coat of arms was commissioned. Tell a little about bacchanal in it. While Mark said he was not opposed to a redesign of the coat of arms, he called the process flawed and noted tourism culture and art Randall Mitchell did not appoint a national emblem committee to advise on the redesigning on the coat of arms. You see, a sidetracking again. Mark said the national coat of arms belonged to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and questioned the government haste to make the change. He asked if this change was a gift to the nation and asked if this change was a gift to the nation at best, or was it an attempt by the government to cover up its grab a pan-Trinbago land. Listen to this.
The coat of arms belongs to all of the citizens of our nation. It does not belong to a section of our nation. And therefore, when we are going to redesign our coat of arms, it should be a process involving all of our citizens. Is this a gift at best, or is it a trick at worst? What is it? Is it a gift, or is it a mama guy? Is it a gift to the nation at best, or is it an attempt to cover up the government attempt to grab land belonging to Pan Trinbago? What is it?
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, he said that it placed the government in breach of the law as a national emblem of Trinidad and Tobago Regulation Act said the committee should act in an advisory role in the designing of the national emblems. My question, why would a government choose to take this initiative but not bring it to the appropriate body to consult with the population before it was finally issued?
Why would a government choose to take this initiative but not bring it to the appropriate body to contemplate, to analyze, to engage, to consult with the population before it was in fact finally issued to the population?
Now, viewers, Mark stated that the PM made this announcement at a partisan event and added that any changes should have made, it's supposed to be approved by a national approval. Mark.
The Prime Minister of our nation makes this dramatic announcement at a partisan event. And Mr. President, this is the coat of arms, and it belongs to all of the citizens of our nation. But here it is, we are going to redesign it, Mr. President. And you know how we know about this thing? The Prime Minister, at the end of some conference of the PNM, announces to the nation he's going to get rid of the 3 ships of Columbus. Now, isn't that a partisan approach? Isn't that a partisan approach? President, if we are going to make any changes to the coat of arms, it must have national approval. It must have national involvement. It must have national participation. Not an emperor from on high announcing this to the nation. I am going to do this. I am going to do that. And the next thing you know, his minions are all over the place hustling. And we are debating something not coming from the people, but coming from the PNM. How that could be fair? How that could be right?
Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. I don't care about what people think. Was designer Gillian Bishop response to negative feedback over the design of the pan on the update coat of arms of Trinidad and Tobago. Bishop, whose portfolio includes creation of Queen Elizabeth II and heads of state, expressed surprise that this particular project has garnered such much attention. The coat of arms now feature the image of a golden steel pan and pan sticks, where Christopher Columbus' 3 ships has been visualized. In an interview, Bishop said she did exactly what she was asked to do. Addressing question about the cost of the design, Bishop disclosed that she has yet to submit an invoice. Well, look thing here now. Look back and all here now. Does according to this, addressing questions about the cost of the design, Bishop disclosed that she is yet to submit an invoice. So Trinidad and Tobago, a coat of arms, a national emblem of our country. Our Prime Minister said we are going to redesign the coat of arms. According to Mark, they went through all kinds of channels except the correct channel. All kinds of channels except the correct channel, according to Mark. Now, viewers, we have no idea of how much this coat of arms redesigning cost, because the designer is yet to submit an invoice. What do you all think about that? Government project. Government, well, I can't say government funding, taxpayers funding, but we don't know the cost of it. I like it. We like it. We like it so. Money is being spent for something. Left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot. Hey, watch it. Left foot, right foot. That's left foot, right foot and all your tail. Now take it. Take left foot, right foot. Left foot, right foot and all your tail. Left foot, all the announcement make. Right foot, we don't know the cost of it yet, and it finish. I call it, what did they say there was, what did they say about some bubble or something going to take place? That kind of term that is used. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program, great
My
topic.
friend, what do you think about this?
This is not a big crime unleashed on the citizens of this country. This is unarmed robbery on the citizens of this country and discrimination at its worst. Now, you have a very renowned pastor in this country. He made a statement about the criminals, the politician. He now realized the politician is protecting the criminals. The SOE is to protect criminals. Well, he's watching Real Talk because we talked about this years ago on your program. So thank God he's watching your program and he make a comment about this and criticize the politicians. He said politicians are protecting the criminals and gangs in this country. I want him to respond to another issue. The police service is in the process of recruiting 1,000 police officers.
Correct.
This is political election employment. Over 300 already employed. ACP Smith said it on your Monday night program you had there this week. Thanks for your program, educating the citizens of this country. So I want the Reverend to question, and I want to hear his opinion on this. Discrimination is the worst crime on the face of the earth. Today, over 300 recruits, not one person in that batch resembles the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the president of this country, the opposition leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and Rudal Munilal. I want to hear the pastor on this. Shame on you government, this government of this country. Mr. Said, you keep up the great work. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, switching news now. Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines, says the Coast Guard's strength is back. The Coast Guard's strength is back. The strength of being blustered by the return to service of the vessels which have been undergoing maintenance and repair. He told the Senate that the Coast Guard vessels, 2 Cape-class patrol vessels, have entered service and are currently rusted for patrol around Trinidad and Tobago. These vessels, built by Australian shipbuilder Austral, were delivered to the Coast Guard in 2021. Hines said vessels from Dutch shipbuilder Dame acquired under the former UNC-led People's Partnership government are being sent for dry docking, re-certification, repair, and maintenance, and will all return to active service shortly. Hines.
Border security is a major plank in our security architecture in Trinidad and Tobago. The government, therefore, clearly recognizes the need to ensure that the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard maintains presence within its area of responsibility. Given that this question, and granted that this question is very dated, I am to advise that both our Austral Cape-class patrol boats, which did not exist in 2020 nor 2015, actually returned. Both of these vessels have re-entered service and are currently rusted for patrols around Trinidad and Tobago. The Damen patrol vessels are also being sent for dry docking, recertification, repairs and maintenance, and will all return to active service shortly. 2 have actually returned from Suriname, and 1 is in its docking phase right there as we speak.
Hola, good night. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my boy.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you a question.
Tell me.
You would give somebody a building to build, a contractor, and don't know the price you man charging you to do the work. I don't know. I just asking you a question. You know.
Yeah, hear this now. People back to front in the government, you know.
No, what the thing about it is, they follow any procedure in awarding that contractor a woman to draw that steel pan in the coat arm. Where is the tendering process for that? Because she's not the only artist in the country.
Correct.
So what it is going on with that? Rowley just hand select somebody to put them there to draw that on the coat arms and say, here what, nation, let's take that. Let's usher them out and take that. That's what he do there then. So we don't want to say then. Suppose she's sending a invoice for $10 million now.
Well, they have no other choice but to pay.
I find the PNM party could have put that bill for we, since them hand select somebody to change the quota arms.
Exactly.
And let me tell you something, the problem with this whole thing, this whole quota arms here, the problem with it, now is not the time for that, boy. The country don't have money to
pay
make
for
that change right now.
Correct.
Because every single thing that have the quota arms have to go and change. And on a normal daily basis, you go to any government agency, they get ID card, they get passport, they get birth paper, the whole day. So you tell me when it have a backlog and it have a rush for everybody to want to change it, and it have a timeline for everybody to change the documents now?
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So what's going to happen with all these government agencies now? And just we the people that are going to fight up to get we documents in order now?
Correct.
Otherwise you can't use the relevant documents you have?
Correct.
These people, I want to find out if these people, if Rowley and these sort of idiots that he put to manage all these ministries, if they just sit down and think about the ripple effect it is have on the normal man, the citizens, when they make these kind of stupid decisions high up in Parliament, boys. I wonder if they just sit down and think about these things, boys. And before I go aside, I want to touch on one thing quick before I go, boys.
Tell me.
Is the statement the opposition leader make towards Joe Biden, right? That whole press release. Let me tell you something, right, Said? I read that whole thing, and every single thing that the opposition leader said was true. It had nothing the woman said was not true. Every single thing she said was true. But you see, we live in a society in Trinidad and Tobago where people is always, they just live in denial. And they just like things to be sugar-coated to them.
Correct.
They just can't handle the truth, the raw truth, they just can't handle that. That's why people have a problem with what she come out and say when she congratulated Donald Trump. People have a problem with her address. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes,
When Joe Biden was going with his whole woke agenda, where they was bringing out all these filthy books of little children to read. You remember all that recently? In all these bookstores?
Yes.
Why all the ministers that condemning the opposition leader, why they didn't come out and say anything?
Correct.
And before I go aside, all the ministers that condemn she, they need to reflect on themselves, look at their ministries. Because every single ministry in the country failing right now.
Yes.
Or they should look at other ministries and stop looking at what other people doing. Anyway, Saeed, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. Now, Trinidad and Tobago on the Hines story, Coast Guard. Hines said the Coast Guard and the police collaborate closely. Listen to this, viewers, before we go for a break.
Tobago is serviced by a smaller vessel, which is used for close inshore patrols, while the Coast Guard continues to deploy various smaller craft for similar type operations in Trinidad. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard continues to actively support law enforcement operations alongside the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard maintains close collaboration with the service, the police service, to conduct ad hoc land and beach patrols in coastal areas as necessary. In these circumstances, the Coastal and Riverine Patrol Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is also joined in these efforts. Mr. President, I thank you.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
5%.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, it's only at Real Talk. You will get 5% on our fixed deposit. Now, 5% on our fixed deposit, I always tell people, we at Real Talk, we have introduced something in Trinidad and Tobago that no other financial institution has done in the decades they have been functioning in our country. We came out with the idea of interest up front on fixed deposits. For decades, banks, credit unions have been running Trinidad and Tobago financial service, and not one of them could bring out something to help the citizens. We channel our energy totally different to others. So those of you who want to open a fixed deposit with Saieed or with Real Talk Investment, you are getting 5% on interest. Now, I just like to use a wrong number so people would understand clearly. But you could invest more than 100,000, you could invest less than 100,000. As long as you open a fixed investment with Real Talk Financing, a fixed deposit, you're going to get 5% interest up front. It's no longer 20,000 and 100,000 for 5 years. It's 25,000 and 100,000 for 5 years. That is bigger than 2014. It's bigger. So viewers, go to your banks, look at what you're getting, compare it, and then contact us. Contact us. 239-1670, 238-6716, 292-44, 292-9944. Our numbers are on screen, viewers. Call our offices, set up an appointment. You're looking for a loan, is not a problem. Contact our loan center, 238-6716, and set an appointment for loan. So also, viewers, Real Talk Equipment Rental has a beautiful piece of equipment for sale. Those of you interested in a record, it's a 7-ton truck, prestige condition with a crane. Contact me at 239-1670 or call the office 238-6716. Schedule an appointment. Also, viewers, we have a excavator for sale. It's prestige condition. It's a 306 new model. It's an E-series. This has a grader in front, like a backhoe. So you could grade your road while you're digging up the area. Look how smooth this is now. Also, Real Talk has launched a new department. We are dealing in crash and damaged vehicle now, viewers. So if your vehicle is right off, it crash, whether it be a car, whether it be a truck, whether it be a bus, a maxi, contact me at 239-1670 and we can do business. Call good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yes, good night, Mr. Saeed.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning the coat of arms lady,
Mm-hmm.
if her invoice isn't submitted as yet and the job is finished, that means she was specially handpicked for this?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Well said. Thank you, my dear. Switching gears. Here, Dr. Rowley. Every murder costs taxpayers millions of dollars. How come? As a state of emergency now stands to exist for another 3 months, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says that this was unattractive to many people around the world. I'll tell you this, Dr. Rowley said this is unattractive to many people around the world. If TTPS was doing their work properly, if the Minister of National Security was doing his work properly, if the head of the Security Council was doing their work properly, you would not have to call a state of emergency because we have lackadaisical, incompetent people in the ministry. You would tell me, the Minister of National Security told the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, it is not his job to make all of you feel safe. You know whose job it is? Maybe somebody from Wasta. Hans should bounce his foot every day and his toe bleeding. They're quite telling all you. Every single day he step out of his house, he should bounce his foot and one of his toenails should fall out. And know what I'm telling all you? You can tell me, you are the Minister of National Security. And you come in to tell the citizens it's not your job to make them feel safe. Whose job is it? Whose job? Is it the Singh job? Is it Shamfa's job? Is it the Education Ministry job? But yet, all I want to say it is unattractive. Why all should eat peas and bump all your gum whole day? All should eat dumpling with baking powder while your mouth can't open. I'm telling all you, for Trinbagonians living in Trinidad and Tobago, ain't care about Trinidad, all should walk backward. Hey, watch me now. I tell you 25 different things. I put you on spot and I'm embarrassing you, you know. I telling you, I'm putting you on spot and I'm embarrassing you. He stated that as a result of the declaration, a state of emergency, 2 of the cruise liner had cancelled trip to Tobago. The PM said that is what criminals are causing. Us? No, Mr. Rowley. The criminal ain't causing we that. Your blasted head of security. National Security Minister caused that. Why? It's not his job. It was never his job to do nothing. He should have remained going to court and being a lawyer. I'm telling you, he should have continued going in the court and being a lawyer. You want to blame criminals now for cruise ship turning around? Why you don't blame the lack of performance from the Minister of National Security, Dr. Rowley? And you're a big man now. You is the head of the head of Security Council. The 2 dons head running Trinidad and Tobago, and they blame us now, and they blame the criminals now for cruise ship turning away. It's thinking sad how all our mind is function. Well, listen to this.
Our fear has not gone unnoticed, because it's only 2 days ago there was a report coming from Tobago that as a result of us being under a state of emergency, 2 of the cruise lines have cancelled their visit to Tobago. Now, if you go to Tobago and drive through and walk through now, you won't see anything going on that says state of emergency, don't pass here. State of emergency, don't do that. But we have to declare the law in the way it has to be declared. It makes the news, and somebody at the headquarters say, well, we're not going to cruise to Tobago. And that is the kind of thing that we've been trying to avoid. And I don't know what else we've lost. I don't know who else was planning to make an investment in Trinidad and Tobago and say, well, that place looks unstable, and because it's under state of emergency, we're not going to do it. That is what the criminals are costing us, Madam Speaker. Over and above the millions we're spending in the courthouse every week, and the millions in the Privy Council in the event that they get convicted for murder. That's what they're costing us. It's not a free ride, you know. Every murder case in this country costs taxpayers millions of dollars, you know. And Madam Speaker, these criminals just don't care.
It costing billions of dollars. Because of this state of emergency, cruise liners turned away because of criminal, according to Dr. Rowley. Listen to this, Trinidad to me. $3.4 billion gone missing and clunging, but still sit on a CD with no accountability. Why the hell Dr. Rowley open his blasted mouth now and tell the nation about the $3.4 billion that has no answer to it as yet? Why hasn't anybody talked about that as yet? Where did that $3.4 billion go? Did somebody get that $3.4 billion pay off? I'm asking a question. Did somebody get a $3.4 billion pay off that they can't give account for the money? But the finance minister still sitting on his chair, still governing the finance ministry. But Dr. Rowley blaming criminals for cruise ship turning around. What the hell he Minister of National Security doing? You want to blame criminals, But $3.4 billion gone missing. And the Minister of Finance still sitting on in his seat. That money ain't accounted for yet. So who is the criminal? I'm asking a question. Where did that money go? Did somebody get a $3.4 billion payout? Because nobody had nobody money gone. Nobody. But Dr. Rowley talking about what? Criminal and cruise ship? Blame your blasted minister sitting on a chair. Blame your blasted minister sitting on a chair. Rowley further noted that he was amazed that in a state of emergency, bail is still so easily available to people who are in fact the problem in the violent criminal society in this crime wave. Listen to Rowley.
One of the things that we did in this situation was to limit the access to bail, because the police is telling us that one of the problems they have is the speed of the revolving door, where a person who's identified as having committed an offense can get back to his business as quickly as the bail ink can be dried. But the state of emergency still maintains a possibility of bail being restricted. I don't want to talk about any specific instance here because it's all before the court, I would presume. But I must say, Madam Speaker, even in the management of this situation, where we get news of certain findings of the police, certain threats identified by persons who have in fact chosen lawbreaking, I am amazed that in a state of emergency, bail is still so easily available to people who are in fact the problem in this violent criminal society, in this crime wave.
Dr. Nancy, I have something I want to say, but nevertheless, we will sit on our next night. Viewers, thank you for joining us tonight. I am Saeed. You have been Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We have come to the end of our program. So until we meet again, be safe.